Boom shakalaka. All right, here we go. Let's get you ladies ready. All right. So, we got two types of angles here. 45 and 30. Do we remember those from anywhere this year? Problem number 1, right? Special triangles. So you should remember and have somewhere in your notes should be this angle, right? Where this is alpha and this is 2 alpha and this is alpha square root 3 because this is 30 and this is 60 and this is 90, right? And somewhere else in your notes you should have alpha, alpha, and alpha square root 2 because this is 90 and this is 45 and this is 45. Oh wait, we did beta, huh? Because we were doing 2 different ones. But we're going to stick with alpha. On this problem we can keep them the same, okay? And I'm going to show you why. Because they're within the same, they're inside each other. Does that make sense? So if they're inside each other, we can keep them the same. If they're separate triangles, we want one to be alpha and one to be beta. Okay? Alright, so let's talk about this. Oh, and it also said that it's 15 feet from the tree to the pole. So this is 15 feet. Okay? From here to here. Alright? Okay, let's talk about that. First things first. If I have a triangle like this, I want to do what underneath it? I want to create that triangle underneath it that looks just like it. Does that make sense? Okay? So I'm going to do this triangle instead of in green. I'm going to do it in red because that one has a red line. Okay? Alright, this is a right angle. And this is this guy. So this is alpha, right? The short leg is alpha. What is the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is 2 alpha, right? Okay? And then what about the other one? The other one is this long leg. Well, that would be this guy, right? That's the only one left. So the long leg would be alpha square root 3. That makes sense? Now what's kind of cool about that is there's this other one that fits inside of it. And it's purple. That makes sense? So let's pop out this purple really quick. Let's put this purple right here. Now the purple still has the alpha, right? And that means that this is alpha, right? And that means that this piece is really alpha square root 2. Does that make sense? So we want to just build a line here saying these are kind of separate entities so that we know that they're separate from each other, right? But they're going to really help us a lot. So think about this. This is too easy of a problem, but remember, we have to be able to explain it, right? So, first things first. Can't I say that this alpha is the same as this? Remember how we did that? So these are the same. So therefore, we can start off right away. That alpha is equal to 15 feet. And why can we say that? What lets us say that? What's the rule? It's a special triangle, right? What special triangle? What type? Remember, there's 2 types, 30, 60, 90 and 45, 45, right? So this one's the 45, 45. Does that make sense? So number 1, boom, that's easy. But wait a minute. If alpha is 15. Okay? I'm going to blow your minds right here real quick. And just plug in all the alphas. Because we just found alpha. That means all of these alphas, this is 15, this is 15, this is 15 square root 2, this is 15, this is 15 square root 3, and this is 2 times 15. Right? Does that make sense? That's just substitution, right?
Your substitution.
So now all of a sudden, I have pretty much everything except what they're asking me for.
What is it?
Right? I have that this hypotenuse is 2 times alpha, right?
2 times fish.
So 2 times fish is equal to 2 times 15.
Oh, you didn't get that already?
Right? And fish is 15. Right? And sorry. So in other words, this is equal from the dog walker to the pole, top of the pole. TP, right? Alright, so let's just plug that in. That means, what is this? This has to be 30, right? So we did 2 things here. 1, we did substitution, and 2, we did simplify, right? And we didn't change our colors. Bad, Dan. Alright, but it was too simple.
So
It just made too much. So this is 30, right?
So that means the other one must be 60.
And what's the pole? That has to be 15, right? Again, substitution. So the pole is equal to 15. Substitution, right? Okay. What else?
The rectangle.
Oh, this one from the bottom of the tree
No, rectangle, maybe 45.
to the top of the pole. So the bottom of the tree to the top of the pole, right, is equal to alpha square root 2, which is equal to 15 square root 2, and that's substitution, right? So we know that this is 15 square root 2. But still that didn't answer the question. All this work we've done hasn't done anything really to answer the question yet. So we got to think about what's answering the question. So we look at this thing again and we go, wait a minute. This is the length we want.
So
This is the length we have. Right?
So you're trying to compare the dog walker to the tree?
Can we figure out the dog walker? Yeah, we're trying to figure out the dog walker
The tree's 30, so
to the tree.
the
But
dog-
can we figure out the dog walker to the pole? To the bottom of the pole?
Yes.
Yeah, we plugged that one in, right?
Yeah.
So we know then that the dog walker to the bottom of the pole,
No, from the tree. Bottom to the pole.
from the dog walker all the way to the bottom of the pole, is 15 square root 3, right? Or in other words, is equal to fish square root 3, which is equal to 15 square root 3, and that's substitution again, right?
Is asking how far will it be fish from
I know.
Dad, listen on.
So, what do? We know red.
How tall is how far is it from the dog walker to the tree?
Yeah. How do we find? We know red. Oh, we don't know red. We know green and we know blue, right?
Just split
So
half.
isn't it red plus blue equals green?
Yeah, or you can split green.
Okay. Let's go back to the red plus blue. Where did I put this in?
Why'd you put red and blue?
I know, it's just
You know what?
let's be as confusing as possible. So
Let's change the examples. Make red, blue.
red
blue,
plus
red.
blue equals what?
Green is all
Green.
yellow.
It is yellow. But red and blue is really purple. But whatever. You see what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So red and blue is the green, right?
It's actually orange, no.
Alright, so now that's 7, right? And that's just what's that rule? Way back, first chapter.
Given.
No. We're adding 2 segments.
Dusty Depot.
Segment,
Segment.
addition,
Are you talking about this thing right here? Oh, no, it's not.
postulate. Remember that? Beginning of the year? Segment, addition, when we add 2 segments, right? So what is the red one? We don't know, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to call that, what do we want to call that? Do we want to just call it X?
Bob.
Pop?
Bob.
Bob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bob.
We're just going to call it Bob?
Yeah, we
Is that what you said?
We should make it a
Yes.
different color just to make it look so different.
Alright. So Bob.
Um,
Bobby. Hey, Bobby. And do we know blue? What's blue?
blue.
No. How much is blue?
30. 15.
15.
15. So Bob plus 15,
No, Bobby, no.
or Bobby, is equal to what? What's green?
15. Is that
30?
What's
Wait,
green?
no.
It's, it's 5.
15 square root
45.
3. Remember?
It's 5.
The whole distance
It's 5 inches, no?
from here to here is 15 square root 3, right?
What if you do it?
What?
What if you do that? Like 50 square root.
So 15 square root
What
3.
does that do?
What do you mean what that do?
This.
Scare.
Square root.
Yeah.
Square root?
Yes.
Oh, it's just 2 things that multiply to be 3 that are the same.
What?
Yeah. Like 1.7 or something.
Aaron.
Alright, so now what? Now what?
Now you're trying to.
Now what?
You do 50.
Now what?
You flip it over now. I feel threatened.
I feel threatened.
Is Bob?
Bob is what? Step up!
He's gone.
Come on!
Bob is gone.
Bob is gone, okay. Now how do we get Bob alone?
You killed the
Then,
dog.
You move his girlfriend, right?
No, you killed his dog.
You kill
His
his dog.
girlfriend
Don't
is
kill the dog. We're gonna move the 15, right? How do you move the 15?
Like minusing it.
Minusing it.
Minus Bob, no.
Now, you get Bob, or the distance between the dog walker and the tree, right?
Square root of 3.
Is equal to what? No, not square root of 3.
Square
Because
root.
you can't just take the 15 away from the 15, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do is rewrite it, because this is like 15x. 15 square root 3 subtracted by 15. You can't just go 15x minus 15 is x. That doesn't work, right? But this is your answer. Now, can you put that in terms of a number? Sure, you plug it in your calculator and you find an estimate.
You plug in calculus.
You go, hey, you can say 15
Oh god, I hate
and then square root
Better above my finger.
3
Got that around me for now.
equals, and then
That's
minus
near to death.
15 equals, and that's 10.98. So Bob
Bomb.
is 10.98 feet, approximately.
Kill streak is.
And this
30.
is approximate, right? And so that's 10. 11 is what? Substitution or subtraction property of equality. And there it is. Okay, now can you explain that in words? This is your rough draft. Can you go through and tell me? We started with the special triangles with 45, 45.
First
Then we
we covered
substituted it in. Then we found that the 2 alpha would be 30, right? And so from the tree to the pole is 15 feet. The pole is also 15 feet. From the dog walker to the top of the pole is 30, because that's 2 alpha, or 2 times 15, because that's special due to the definition of special triangles, right? Okay? So you just keep working this taper.
I was
Okay.
helping you.
Oh, okay.
I said Bob.
Ow! Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, we're done.
I got
For the
killed.
camera?
All for the camera, Tabor.
The
Yeah.
camera's not online.